Hi, this is Bob Snyder with Snyder Soapbox, and today we're going to take a look at the Crossway ESV Heirloom Thinline edition in brown calfskin leather. You can see it comes in a two-piece black presentation box. You should keep the box for storage in case you want to put this Bible up if you're going to move or something, or if you're just not going to use it for a while. And here is the brown calfskin leather. This is a harder leather cover than your goatskin covers, so the texture is a little tougher. The goatskin stuff, sometimes it's soft, might feel like it would scratch or something. This actually feels pretty durable and tough. So although that tough doesn't mean not flexible, it is flexible. It will bend and flop wherever you want it. This isn't going to be a some people might call a floppy Bible. I mean, it's plenty flexible. It has perimeter stitching around the cover. It has ornamental spine hubs cut into the leather instead of having raised bumps, which is completely fine by me. They're kind of neat, kind of a, you know, when you've never had one that does have the spine hubs. But after you've had a few of them, you realize they're just decoration, because they're not really functional as in the old days when they used to sew the signatures together into a spine ribbons or cords on the spine. Now it's all done mechanically. So even though this is a sewn binding, it doesn't have the old-fashioned type of spine hubs. Now this is a very flexible text block. You can see that I just bend it right over. The cover is nice and flexible. The one thing that people do complain about a little bit is the hinge in here, because it is made out of the same leather. There's really tough leather here that lines that is the inside liner on this edge-lined Bible, and that means that they use edge line simply means that there's an inside liner that comes up and has a tab that is glued to the text block, and then a sheet of material is glued over that text block to join it to the Bible. And that's why you have these two pages here that are glued part of the way up. That's all part of keeping this text block firmly connected to the cover. Now, that does present, a little bit of a problem when you're trying to get the first few pages of the Bible to stay open. But ultimately, I'd rather have that than a case-bound Bible where I'm fighting the cover all the time. And this is, we're just in Genesis here, and you can see it lays open well enough. And this is fairly new. I haven't really done a lot of reading out of it yet, so I haven't broke the hinges in. If you were reading this every day, I have a feeling that would break in a little bit better. You can see that the paper has a little bit of a wrinkle to it. I think that's because of the release agent that they use when they make the text block. It's not really a problem for me. I kind of expect it on the higher quality, thinner papers from Youngblood. This is a Youngblood printed and bound Bible out of the Netherlands, and they are the premier Bible bindery that, as far as what I know of, they do all the work for Schuyler and for R.L. Allen. They also do work for Cambridge. So when Crossway has a premium Bible they want made, they go where everybody else goes, which is to Youngblood in the Netherlands. They do a supreme job. We can see that we have page numbers at the top in the center, and then the book and chapter and verse reference on the side towards the outside margin. We have a double column format with paragraphs and not verse, and there's limited footnotes at the bottom of the pages. The chapter numbers are drop cap style. There's a heading beginning of each section. You get different headings. Other than that, there's not a lot of other notation in the Bible. It's just a pretty straightforward reader. So this is something you're going to be using every day for the rest of your life, and it's going to outlast you probably if you take care of it. So when it does outlast you, and hopefully you have a little bit of notes on there and maybe some worn spots on the cover from your hands handling this Bible, when it does outlast you, hopefully you have somebody to hand it down to. I know that I would have loved to have a Bible that my dad had read every day of his life, and I would have loved to have been able to hand something like that down to my children so they could say, oh, this was Grandpa's Bible. This is art gilt page edges. You can see kind of red right now, but then when we go like that, they're gold. This Bible has a little more of a yap on it, which just means the covers overlap the pages a little bit more. Some people don't know what that is, but you'll see this on other Bibles. Some Bibles have a full yap where it completely covers the page edges and protects them. This is not an error or defect. This is a feature. Some people have written reviews on Amazon and other places where they claim that's a defect. They don't like it. Well, I think they just don't understand that that's actually a feature. We have two ribbon markers, and the head and tail bands are the same colors, matching the brown calfskin leather. It makes for a real attractive, just the right size, flexible little Bible to read. And I love to read it by, I know this is bad for the spine, but this is the way I love to hold Bibles. So when I find one that's this size, with this flexibility of a cover, these are like my favorite. These are my favorite to hold and read. The bigger ones to me are just a little bit too much work. And the smaller ones, the font is too small. And this, we've got a nice 8-point font. It's printed sharply and cleanly and clearly, and it contrasts well against the paper. This video will be up on my website with the review, so you can read the written review and you can watch the video, and you can look at all the pictures. And I have even more pictures of this Bible on my Flickr page, so make sure to check that out. All right. This is Bob Snyder. Thanks for checking this video out, and we'll see you soon. Have a good week. Bye.